Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare Abraham Lincoln penny coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're diving into a particular gem that has captured the attention of many collectors, the United States 1-cent coin from 1975. This small coin, which might seem ordinary at first glance, has become a highly sought-after piece of history, with a surprising value that might just take you by surprise. Stick with us as we unravel the history, design, and the journey of this coin, and ultimately reveal its potential worth today. Let's start by taking a step back in time to 1975. It was a year marked by significant changes and events in both the United States and the world. The U.S. was emerging from the turmoil of the Vietnam War, and the country was beginning to heal from the political and social tensions that had defined much of the late 1960s and early 1970s. It was a time of economic challenge, with inflation on the rise and the country trying to regain its footing after the oil crisis. Amidst all this, the U.S. Mint was working tirelessly to produce a new batch of coins, including the iconic 1-cent coin. In 1975, the U.S. Mint struck billions of these pennies for circulation. These coins were part of the ongoing effort to supply the nation's economy with the currency needed to meet the daily demands of American life. As is often the case, many of these coins circulated widely, passing through countless hands, and ultimately, most of them became worn and aged. However, as time went on, it became clear that certain versions of this 1-cent coin were much more than just ordinary pocket change. The 1975 1-cent coin, at first glance, looks like any other penny. It features the familiar design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, which has been the face of the penny since 1909. The portrait of Lincoln is surrounded by the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the year of mintage, which, in this case, is 1975. This simple, yet powerful design captures the essence of American history, as Lincoln is one of the most revered presidents in the country's history, known for his leadership during the Civil War and his role in abolishing slavery. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find the iconic image of the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of unity and national pride. This design, introduced in 1959, has been a staple on the back of the penny for decades. The memorial stands as a tribute to Lincoln and his enduring legacy in shaping the United States. The words "E pluribus unum," out of many, one, appear above the memorial, reinforcing the idea of a united nation. So, what makes the 1975 1-cent coin stand out in the world of collectors? The answer lies in its rarity and condition. While the coin was produced in massive quantities, certain variants of the 1975 penny are especially rare. The year 1975 marks the transition between two different types of mint marks on U.S. coins. For most of the years between 1968 and 1980, the U.S. Mint used the S mint mark to indicate coins minted in San Francisco. However, in 1975, an error occurred that led to some of the pennies being struck without a mint mark at all, making them significantly rarer than their counterparts. This small oversight, which might seem insignificant to the untrained eye, has turned into a key feature that collectors now highly prize. Another factor that contributes to the appeal of the 1975 1-cent coin is the fact that coins from this period were heavily circulated. As a result, many of them are found in poor condition, with wear and tear that makes them less desirable for collectors. However, those few coins that were kept in pristine condition, whether by chance or by the careful preservation of their owners, are now considered incredibly valuable. If you happen to have a 1975 1-cent coin in near-perfect or uncirculated condition, you found a treasure. Uncirculated coins, which are those that were never used in everyday transactions, are much rarer and more valuable than their worn counterparts. The quality of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. Coins that have been stored in good condition, free from scratches, discoloration, and other signs of wear, are always in high demand. The more pristine the coin, the higher the price it can command in the marketplace, but there's more. Some 1975 1-cent coins have even more unique features that make them even more valuable to collectors. These can include errors or variations that were caused during the minting process. Coins that were struck with die errors, such as misalignments or double strikes, can command much higher prices than the average 1975 penny. These minting mistakes create one-of-a-kind coins, and collectors love them because they are so rare and distinct. If you happen to find a 1975 1-cent coin with such an error, consider yourself incredibly lucky. These coins can fetch thousands of dollars depending on the severity and rarity of the error. Even a small minting flaw, like a faint doubling of the image, can increase a coin's value by a significant amount. The more extreme the error, the more valuable the coin becomes. Error coins are highly coveted, and their value can skyrocket based on their uniqueness. Now, let's get to the most exciting part, the value of the 1975 1-cent coin today. For a coin in excellent condition, collectors are willing to pay a premium, but the truly special coins, those that are in mint state or have rare minting errors, can be worth much more. While a standard 1975 penny in circulated condition might only fetch a few cents, an uncirculated or error coin could be worth up to $58,000. That's right, $58,000 for a single 1-cent coin. It's truly incredible to think that such a small piece of history could be worth such an impressive amount of money. So, if you happen to come across a 1975 penny, take a closer look. If it's in pristine condition or has an error, you might just have a valuable treasure on your hands. Top 2, we are going to uncover the hidden potential of the United States 1-cent coin from 1980. This seemingly simple penny might just be worth far more than you'd expect, and by the end of this video, we'll reveal its true worth. So sit back, relax, and let's explore the journey of the 1981 cent coin, from its historical significance to its place in the world of collectors and its jaw-dropping value today. Let's set the stage for 1980, a year marked by significant events in both the United States and across the globe. The U.S. was navigating through the turbulent aftermath of the 1970s, a decade that had been marked by economic challenges, including high inflation and energy crises. In 1980, America was still reeling from these economic struggles, and the country was gearing up for a presidential election. Meanwhile, the U.S. Mint was busy at work, producing coins to meet the ever-growing demand for currency across the nation. During this time, the U.S. government was also focusing on the country's monetary system, which had been evolving over the decades. The 1-cent coin, or the penny, was a staple of the currency system, with millions of these coins being minted every year. As with all U.S. coins, the penny underwent periodic design changes to reflect the nation's values and heritage. The 1981 cent coin is part of a long tradition that dates back to the very first pennies struck in 1793. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1980 penny, as it tells a story of American history and culture. On the obverse side, we see the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, one of the most revered figures in American history. Lincoln has been featured on the 1-cent coin since 1909, and his image remains a powerful symbol of leadership, freedom, and unity. Surrounding his portrait are the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the year of mintage, 1980. The design of Lincoln's bust is beautifully detailed, showcasing the skill of the engravers who crafted this timeless representation. On the reverse side of the coin, we find the familiar image of the Lincoln Memorial. This design, which was introduced in 1959, remains one of the most beloved and recognizable symbols in American coinage. The Lincoln Memorial stands as a tribute to Lincoln's leadership during the Civil War and his role in preserving the Union. The words "E pluribus unum" appear above the memorial, underscoring the notion of a united nation, and reminding us that out of many, there is one. While the 1981 cent coin is visually stunning, what really sets this penny apart in the world of numismatics is its minting details and the appeal it holds for collectors. The U.S. Mint produced billions of these pennies, and most of them were circulated heavily, showing signs of wear and age. As a result, finding a 1980 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition is quite rare, and this is what makes it so valuable to collectors. but why are collectors so interested in the 1980 penny in particular? The answer lies in a combination of factors, including the rarity of uncirculated coins, minting errors, and the coin's historical significance. As with many other coins, the 1981-cent piece was produced in large quantities, but not all of them were stored carefully. Many pennies were spent in everyday transactions, leading to wear and tear that reduces their value. However, there are still some coins from this year that remain in pristine condition, making them a prized possession for serious collectors. Condition plays a critical role in determining the value of a coin. Uncirculated coins, which are coins that were never used in circulation, are especially valuable. The 1980 penny is no exception. Coins that have been kept in excellent condition, free from scratches, discoloration, and other signs of wear, can command much higher prices on the market. Uncirculated 1980 pennies, in particular, are rare to find, making them an attractive investment for collectors looking to add something special to their collection. Another factor that increases the value of the 1981-cent coin is the possibility of minting errors. While most coins are struck correctly, occasionally, the minting process can result in mistakes. These errors are highly prized by collectors because they are unique and often very difficult to find. Some 1980 pennies may have been struck with misaligned dies, double strikes, or other minting anomalies that make them stand out from the standard issue coins. These minting errors can add significant value to a coin, with some error pennies fetching far more than a typical 1980 penny in good condition. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for coins that have minting flaws, as they can dramatically increase a coin's worth. In the case of the 1981-cent coin, finding one with an error could mean the difference between a few dollars and a small fortune. For example, a 1980 penny with a significant minting error could easily fetch thousands of dollars at auction, depending on the severity of the flaw and the overall demand for error coins. So, what is the value of a 1981-cent coin today? While most 1980 pennies are worth just 1 cent, there are some exceptions that can leave you speechless. If you happen to have an uncirculated 1980 penny, it could be worth up to $48,000. That's right, $48,000 for a single 1-cent coin. It's incredible to think that a penny, which many people may overlook as being insignificant, could hold such immense value. If you're lucky enough to own a 1980 penny in pristine condition or one with a rare minting error, you've discovered a hidden treasure that could change your life. And even if you don't have one of these rare coins in your collection, it's always worth checking your spare change and coin jars, as you never know what valuable coins might be hiding in there. Top 3, we're uncovering the hidden value of the United States 1-cent coin from 1993. It's a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but we're about to show you just how special it really is. Stick with us through this journey as we explore its historical significance, design, minting process, and most importantly, its incredible value today. By the end of this video, you'll be amazed at what this humble penny could be worth. Let's start by setting the stage in 1993. The United States was experiencing a time of relative stability, following the end of the Cold War and the beginning of the 1990s economic expansion. Bill Clinton had just taken office as the 42nd President of the United States, and the country was witnessing a new era of political and economic change. Meanwhile, in the world of numismatics, the U.S. Mint was hard at work producing coins, including the penny, which remained an integral part of the American currency system. In 1993, the U.S. Mint produced billions of 1-cent coins to meet the needs of the economy. These coins were minted in large quantities and sent into circulation to help with daily transactions. Most of these pennies quickly found their way into the hands of consumers, where they were spent, collected in jars, or eventually discarded. However, amidst the vast sea of pennies, there are a few gems from 1993 that have become highly sought after in the world of coin collecting. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1993 1-cent coin, because this is where things get interesting. The design of the U.S. penny has remained largely the same for decades, but it carries deep historical meaning. On the obverse side, we see the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected and beloved figures in American history. Lincoln has graced the penny since 1909, and his image continues to serve as a symbol of leadership, freedom, and the enduring American spirit. Surrounding Lincoln's portrait are the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the year of mintage, in this case, 1993. The details in Lincoln's portrait are crisp, and the engraving beautifully captures his likeness. It's a timeless design that speaks to the legacy of the man who led the nation through the Civil War and played a pivotal role in shaping the United States. On the reverse side of the coin, we find the familiar image of the Lincoln Memorial, which has adorned the back of the penny since 1959. This symbol is a tribute to Lincoln's leadership and his dedication to preserving the Union during one of the most tumultuous times in American history. The memorial stands as a testament to the nation's respect for Lincoln and the values he represented. In addition to the memorial, the reverse side of the 1993 penny includes the words, "E pluribus unum," which means, out of many, one. This phrase is a reminder of the strength found in unity and the shared values that bind the country together. The design of the 1993 1-cent coin may seem simple, but it carries a deep sense of patriotism and American pride. Now that we've taken a closer look at the design, let's dive into what makes the 1993 1-cent coin so appealing to collectors. Despite being produced in massive quantities, there are certain aspects of the 1993 penny that have made it a standout in the world of numismatics. First and foremost, the rarity of certain 1993 pennies is what catches the eye of collectors. The 1-cent coin from this year, like many others, was minted in large numbers, meaning that most of the pennies produced ended up being used and circulated in everyday transactions. Over time, these coins became worn down, scratched, and tarnished. As a result, finding a 1993 penny in uncirculated condition, free from damage or wear, is a rare occurrence. Coins that have remained in pristine condition are always highly sought after by collectors, and the 1993 penny is no exception. The more pristine a coin is, the more valuable it becomes. Uncirculated coins, those that were never used in circulation, are especially valuable because they remain in their original, untouched state. These coins are often stored by collectors in protective holders to preserve their condition, and when they are eventually sold, they can fetch a premium price. Beyond its pristine condition, another factor that increases the value of the 1993 1-cent coin is the possibility of minting errors. While the minting process is usually precise, there are times when mistakes happen. Some 1993 pennies were struck with flaws or defects, creating unique coins that are highly coveted by collectors. These errors can include things like misaligned dies, double strikes, or even coins that were struck with incorrect metal composition. These minting mistakes are rare, and coins that have them are often worth far more than their standard counterparts. Minting errors are a key part of the thrill of collecting rare coins, and the 1993 penny is no exception. If you happen to find a 1993 penny with an error, you might just have a valuable treasure on your hands. Depending on the type and severity of the error, these coins can be worth several times more than a regular 1993 penny in good condition. So, now that we've covered the design, rarity, and collector appeal, let's talk about the most exciting part, the value of the 1993 1-cent coin today. While a typical 1993 penny in circulated condition is worth only 1 cent, a 1993 penny in uncirculated condition or with a minting error can be worth a substantial amount more. Some of these coins have sold for thousands of dollars at auction, depending on their rarity and condition. If you have a 1993 penny that's been carefully preserved or one that features a rare minting error, it could be worth as much as $37,000. Yes, $37,000 for a single 1-cent coin. This impressive value is a testament to the rarity and demand for these coins, especially those that have survived the years in pristine condition or with unique errors. So, next time you come across a 1993 penny, take a moment to check its condition. You never know, it could be worth much more than its face value. Coins like these serve as a reminder that sometimes, hidden treasures can be found in the most unlikely places. Top 4. We'll be uncovering the story of a coin that may look simple at first glance, but has some fascinating surprises hidden beneath its surface, the United States 1-cent coin from 1982. This seemingly ordinary penny has quite the backstory, and by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at just how much this small coin could be worth today. Stay tuned as we dive into its historical context, the design elements, its minting process, and, of course, its incredible collector appeal. Let's start by setting the stage in 1982. The United States, like much of the world, was experiencing a time of transition. The 1980s were marked by economic challenges, including high inflation and unemployment rates. At the same time, the country was in the midst of the Reagan administration, a period of significant political and economic change. Meanwhile, in the world of currency, the U.S. Mint was gearing up for some important changes to its coins, especially the 1-cent coin. During the early 1980s, the U.S. Mint was facing an important issue: rising copper prices. The material cost of making pennies was becoming more expensive than the coin's actual face value, and it was a concern for the government. By the time 1982 rolled around, the Mint made a decision to change the composition of the 1-cent coin. Before this year, pennies were made almost entirely from copper, but due to rising metal costs, the Mint decided to reduce the copper content and replace it with zinc. 1982 marked the year when two different types of 1-cent coins were produced, one that still contained a high percentage of copper and another that was primarily made of zinc with a copper plating. These two types of pennies, often referred to as copper pennies and zinc pennies, were minted side by side, and the differences between them are key to understanding their rarity and value today. The two variations are one of the primary reasons that collectors are so intrigued by the 1982 1-cent coin. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1982 penny. The obverse of the coin, as always, features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, one of the most important figures in American history. Lincoln's image has been a constant on the penny since 1909, and it continues to symbolize the principles of freedom, unity, and leadership. The portrait on the 1982 penny is just as striking as those on other years, with crisp detailing that captures Lincoln's serious expression, embodying the spirit of his time. Surrounding Lincoln's portrait are the familiar inscriptions: "Liberty" at the top, "In God We Trust" to the right, and the year 1982 below the image. The detail on the coin is sharp, reflecting the artistry and craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint. Despite the changes in its composition, the design of the 1982 penny remains timeless, and its connection to Lincoln's legacy is just as strong as ever. On the reverse side of the 1982 penny, we find the well-known image of the Lincoln Memorial, which has been the reverse design since 1959. The Lincoln Memorial is a symbol of Lincoln's leadership and his critical role in preserving the Union during the Civil War. It also stands as a tribute to the principles of equality and democracy that Lincoln championed throughout his presidency. The words "e pluribus unum," meaning "out of many, one," are inscribed above the memorial, reinforcing the idea of unity and the strength that comes from diversity. But what truly sets the 1982 penny apart from other years is its composition. As I mentioned earlier, this was the year the U.S. Mint began producing two different versions of the 1-cent coin. The copper version, which was still made mostly of copper, weighs 3.11 grams, while the new zinc version weighs just 2.5 grams. The zinc pennies were lighter and cheaper to produce, making them more cost-effective for the Mint, but the change created some confusion for collectors and caused a bit of a stir in the numismatic community. The key to understanding the value of the 1982 1-cent coin lies in the rarity of the copper version. Due to the change in materials, copper pennies were only minted for part of the year, and it's those particular coins that are the most valuable to collectors today. Many of these copper pennies were released into circulation and spent, so finding one in uncirculated condition is incredibly rare. As a result, these copper pennies have become highly desirable to those in the numismatic world. What's even more intriguing is that some collectors seek out the 1982 zinc penny with the copper coating. These pennies, which have a core made of zinc but are coated in copper, were made in response to the rising cost of copper. While they are far more common than their copper counterparts, they still have a unique appeal due to their unusual composition. Now, let's talk about why collectors are so eager to get their hands on the 1982 penny, especially the copper version. The value of these coins is primarily determined by two factors: their rarity and their condition. Most of the 1982 pennies, whether copper or zinc, were used in everyday transactions, which means they were subjected to wear and tear. The vast majority of these coins show signs of damage, discoloration, and heavy circulation, which lowers their value. However, uncirculated 1982 copper pennies are incredibly rare, and these are the coins that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition are highly sought after because they are much harder to find than their worn counterparts. When a coin is uncirculated, it means that it was never used in commerce, and it has remained in its original, untouched condition since it was first minted. These coins, especially the copper ones, are more valuable because they represent a piece of history that has been preserved over time. On top of their rarity, the 1982 penny is also appealing to collectors due to its historical significance. It was the year that marked the beginning of the end for the classic copper penny, and it's a transitional coin in American currency. As such, it holds a special place in the hearts of numismatists who appreciate the story behind the coin and its role in the larger context of U.S. coinage. So, now you're probably wondering, how much is the 1982 1-cent coin worth today? While a typical 1982 penny might only be worth its face value of 1 cent, certain versions of this coin can fetch far more. An uncirculated copper penny from 1982 could be worth a staggering $44,000. Yes, you heard that right, $44,000 for a single penny. This incredible value is a testament to the rarity of the coin in pristine condition and the demand among collectors for such a piece of American history. So, what should you do if you happen to come across a 1982 penny? First, take a good look at its condition. If it appears to be in great shape, it could be worth more than just a penny. Next, pay attention to its composition. If it's made of copper, it might be a real treasure waiting to be discovered. And if you find one with minting errors or other unique characteristics, it could be worth even more. Top 5 and last coin, we're diving deep into the world of the United States 1-cent coin from 1984. While it may seem like just another penny in the grand scheme of things, this particular coin holds a special place in both American history and the world of coin collectors. Stick with us as we walk through the fascinating details of this coin's design, minting, its place in history, and its extraordinary value today. By the end of this video, you might just be checking your change to see if you've stumbled upon one of these hidden treasures. Let's set the scene in 1984. The United States was enjoying a period of economic growth and stability under the presidency of Ronald Reagan. The country was in the midst of the Reagan administration's second term, and Americans were benefiting from a booming economy, lower inflation, and expanding technological advancements. This era was also marked by cultural shifts, with the rise of personal computing and new waves of pop culture influencing everyday life. Amid this climate, the U.S. Mint continued to produce coins, including the 1-cent coin, which was, as always, a fundamental part of the American economy. The 1980s marked an important time for the U.S. Mint as the country grappled with rising production costs for coins, particularly the penny. While these concerns had started earlier in the decade, the U.S. Mint was determined to continue producing the penny despite its increasing cost. The 1984 penny was minted in large quantities, with billions being produced to meet the demand for everyday transactions. However, there was one major challenge: many of these coins would soon face wear and tear from daily circulation. What this meant for coin collectors was that the chance of finding a well-preserved 1984 penny, especially one in uncirculated condition, was becoming rarer by the year. When we talk about the 1984 penny, we also need to take a closer look at its design. The obverse of the coin, as always, features the revered portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. This iconic image of Lincoln has been a part of American currency since 1909, and his likeness continues to grace the penny as a symbol of leadership, liberty, and the ideals that the nation stands for. The portrait is framed by the inscriptions "Liberty" at the top and "In God We Trust" to the right, a reflection of the national values that have been central to the United States since its founding. The year 1984 is inscribed just below Lincoln's portrait, marking the year of minting. What's striking about the 1984 penny is the attention to detail in Lincoln's face. The facial features are sharp, and the depth of engraving is remarkable, allowing Lincoln's expression to stand out with clarity. This level of detail is something coin collectors value, as it indicates a high-quality strike during the minting process. On the reverse side of the coin, we find the Lincoln Memorial, a design that has appeared on the back of the penny since 1959. The memorial stands as a tribute to Lincoln's leadership and the values he upheld throughout his life. The reverse also includes the inscription E pluribus unum, which translates to out of many, one, a phrase that embodies the unity of the United States. Surrounding the image of the Lincoln Memorial, you'll find the words United States of America and the coin's face value, 1 cent. The reverse design remains largely unchanged over the decades, making it one of the most recognized symbols of American coinage. Now, let's discuss what makes the 1984 penny stand out in the world of coin collecting. The first thing to note is that, while billions of these pennies were produced, only a fraction of them remain in pristine, uncirculated condition today. Most 1984 pennies have passed through the hands of millions of Americans over the years, experiencing the inevitable wear and tear of daily circulation. These coins often have scuffs, scratches, and discoloration, which means that they are worth only their face value, 1 cent. However, coins that have managed to avoid this damage are highly prized by collectors. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins in uncirculated condition, as these represent a piece of history that has been preserved for future generations. Finding a 1984 penny in mint state, without the usual signs of wear, is a rare and valuable find. Coins like these often command much higher prices at auction, as collectors know that well-preserved coins from this era are becoming increasingly difficult to come by. Additionally, there are some coins from the 1984 mintage that feature notable errors. As with many coins, the minting process is not always flawless, and there have been occasional misprints or mistakes during production. These errors can range from slight misalignments of the design to more dramatic mistakes like double strikes or incorrect metal compositions. Error coins like these can be highly valuable, as they are one-of-a-kind pieces that stand out from the typical production run. If you happen to have an error coin from 1984, you might just be sitting on a rare treasure. So, what makes a 1984 penny truly valuable? The key factors are its condition and rarity. A penny that has been well preserved, free from damage or signs of heavy circulation, is much rarer than the millions of pennies that were spent and discarded. Additionally, minting errors add another layer of appeal to the 1984 penny. These unique coins stand out from the rest, making them even more desirable to collectors. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the big reveal. While a regular 1984 penny in circulated condition is worth just 1 cent, a 1984 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition or one with a rare minting error can be worth a shocking $41,000. That's right, $41,000 for a single penny. This is a prime example of how a coin that appears to be worth little can actually hold immense value if it has the right attributes. If you happen to find a 1984 penny that is in excellent condition, or if you discover one with a minting error, you might just have a hidden gem on your hands. These rare pennies are highly sought after by collectors, and the prices they can command at auctions or through private sales can be staggering. So, the next time you come across a 1984 penny, take a moment to examine it closely. Check for signs of wear, and if it looks like it might be in uncirculated condition, don't dismiss it as just another penny. You may very well be holding onto a coin that could be worth a small fortune. And if you find a 1984 penny with a minting error, you could be sitting on a piece of history that is truly unique. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey through the history and value of the 1984 1-cent coin. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss another exciting coin discovery. Who knows? The next valuable coin could be hiding in your pocket right now. Happy collecting!